let me welcome His Excellency David Kerich.
Jambo, jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana, wageni wakaribishwa, Kenya yetu hakuna matata.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. The President of KENID, Dr. Penny, together with your team, Dr. Mary Chokman, esteemed members of KENID, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Jambo. Mbona siski? I'm Jambo. That is better. Now, before I proceed with my remarks, I saw what Dr. Mary was, she was really adorned with many things, and I was touched when I saw my sister removing part of her attires. And I am going to follow cue. Dr. Mary, please also come, because I think you have to be adorned well. And this is so personal from the Ambassador of the Republic of Kenya to the US. Now, Dr. Mary, you are commissioned, you are not only connected to Kakamega through that lady called Lucy, but I want to invite you to physically come to Kenya. Thank you very much for the work. Thank you. Thank you. You see, part of my work here as ambassador is to attract tourists to Kenya. Don't we have the first tourist? So when you want to have your me time, go to Kenya, see those animals, see the giraffes, see the lions, and go to Dr. Faith, go to Nanyuki and see Mount Kenya. But I don't think I'll read my speech because the mood today is quite nice and celebratory. I am going to proceed to, first of all, thank the management of KENID. Thank you very much for organizing such a wonderful occasion. Thank you. I have heard the history of KENID. This is now the third time. And I want to thank you, Madam President, for welcoming me to this occasion. It gives me great pleasure to join you to be among nurses from our esteemed country. The nurses in this country from Kenya are known. Almost every hospital in this country has a Kenyan nurse. And the testimony that I hear is always positive. That the Kenyan nurse is compassionate and lives to the pledge of your founder, Florence Nightingale. Work with compassion, with all your knowledge, with all your skills to assist your patient. Where would be the world without a nurse? So you people are doing a good job. The country and the government of Kenya acknowledges your job, acknowledges what you do. What you do as nurses here, and generally the medical profession, is, I can summarize, threefold. One is that you work so hard, you lift the name of a country high. That is very important. Actually, you are number one ambassadors. Because even before the ambassador, the official ambassador, that's myself, or even my predecessors coming, you are in the forefront. You say this is Kenya by what you do. So that's the first thing that you do. The second one is we acknowledge your contribution back home. You work so hard, when you make your money, you remit them back home. So I want to thank you for your remittance back home. Because your remittance is the one that contributes to the economy of our country. I told you when I was here before that the remittance from the diaspora globally is for last year, 2024, stood at $4.19 billion US. And out of that, 56% comes from this country, the US. That is you. Can you clap for yourselves? That remittance is all what you'd remit back home. But I want to divide that remittance into two. There is the direct remittance in terms of cash and assistance you give to your families. And there is also the foreign direct investment, what we call FDIs. FDIs in your remittance is 20%. So I want to encourage you to increase from 20%, let's go up. And I was happy when Dr. Faith was here to interest you. That is the kind of investment that we're looking for. Buy property, establish companies, so that it has the ripple effect of employing other people and improving the economy back home. So as we remit money to our relatives, let us also invest back at home. Tuko pamoja mpaka hapo? Because we rely on you. So that is the second contribution that you people do. The third one is on the issue of knowledge transfer. We all agree that this country, and Dr. Mary will attest to that, is that the knowledge here in terms of medical intervention is higher than most parts in Africa. So when you are here, you get the latest skills, the latest knowledge. And that latest skills and the latest knowledge, when you go back home, you transfer those skills back at home. And our people benefit because of that transfer. So that's what you do, and we recognize and acknowledge that. And I want to urge you to share with your colleagues back at home your latest knowledge acquisition so that they also can benefit from that knowledge. The other thing that you do is advocacy. That, and I believe, and I want to encourage you that that's what is expected of you, and I know you are doing, to advocate for better conditions, better health facilities, better health training back at home. Because then you need to advocate and tell the government, this is how we do here in the US. We should also do the same in Kenya. That is the advocacy which I want to encourage you. Because knowledge that is not shared will only help you here, it will not help people at home. So those are the kind of things that you people do in the US. And that's why when I came here for the Mashujaa Day celebrations in November, you remember who was there? Mkonoju. Of course, I know the man behind the mic. When I came there, thank you very much. The next morning, I was told that I needed to meet your president, and your president actually came very early to where I was. We sat down with a group of you people. We had tea, and Dr. Penny impressed upon me and told me, please, Balozi, come to a function on 1st March. And the way she pleaded that case, it was very difficult for me to say no. And that's why I'm here. When you need something, you go for it. What did Dr. Mary say? Take your space. If you want something, ask for it. What's the worst that can happen? To be told no. Nobody will shoot you. So Dr. Penny decided to ask for that opportunity, and she got it. And I'm here. So, talking on health, from the government perspective, you are aware that the government of Kenya takes health very seriously. And we are on the road to reform health services in Kenya. Although, of course, you will know, any new thing has teething problems, but we believe that we will be there. We want to reach universal health coverage to ensure that the health facilities is not only affordable, but available, because it is the right of every Kenyan to access health services at an affordable price, because health is very expensive. So I would want to urge you to support us by giving out the correct information and giving out the advice that we are supposed to get, because at the end of the day, if our people are not healthy, even those investments will not make any sense. So a healthy nation is very important for anything. So let us all hold our hands together to ensure that the health changes that are beginning in Kenya get to fruition. Now on KENID, I was following what you've done, that even when you are here, you have health screening among your communities. Then I realized, Bishop Mungai, I think you have taught these people very well that there is a principle of good neighborliness. Be your neighbor's keeper. Be a good neighbor and be your brothers and sisters' keeper. So when you take care of your communities by doing outreach, those health screening, that is something, because you are helping a fellow human being. So continue doing that, because I'm sure you are not only helping Kenyans, you're also helping others who are not necessarily Kenyans. That shows that you are able to help fellow human being, because you recognize that you are a member of this globe. You are a member of this humanity. You are connected to your neighbor, irrespective of the skin color, the language, or where he or she is coming from. On the planned mission in June, I'm here to tell you, Dr. Penny and your group, that is awesome. That is wonderful. And I want to hear a hearty clap for that. That's one of the reasons why I actually came, because that mission of June touches Kenyans directly. You are saying you're going to Laikipia, but that is the beginning. If you go to Laikipia and do it well, next time you go to another county, and I can assure you, before you even go to another county, some other group will hear what KENID has done, and they may replicate and do something else. And if everybody wakes up and takes advantage of God-given skills, God-given opportunities to help our people, you can imagine how much we can achieve. So on that mission, I was able to mention to the PS Minister of Health, and she's aware that I'm here. Receive greetings from the PS Mary. I mentioned to her that I was coming here, and she was very excited, and she said, tell them anything that the government, the ministry can do, she will be happy to do it for you. What I have in mind, and I discussed with her, is that maybe you could have donations in terms of medicine, in terms of equipment, medical equipment. And there are sometimes issues on clearing of those equipment. And we have agreed with the government that when you have those kind of challenges, in good time, let the ministry know, and she'll write to the proper authorities. If it's Kenya Revenue Authority, she'll be able to write so that you can get a waiver, so that those equipment can go. Because you are not going to sell them. You're going to give it to Kenyans, deserving Kenyans. And I also believe that you will also, of course, you will give us the best equipment. Mutachagua ile safi, eh? Ile safi ndio ikifika huko. You know, na nitaongea Kiswahili. Unajua kuna maneno mengine inaitwa, mtu anasema kuna kitu inaitwa dumping, ati mnatuletea ile kitu imeisha huko, alafu mnatuletea hapa. I don't think, tafuta ile safi, si ndio? Atiaje? Ile ukienda Kikomba kina mama wananunua mitumba inaitwa kamera. Ama namna gani? Tafuteni hiyo. And then our people will be able to benefit from that. So Dr. Penny, tuko pamoja on that. Even as you plan between now and that time, if there's any intervention that you will need, please tell me. The PS said, but tell them to do it when there is time, because she has had cases where somebody writes today and they want it next week. So you better start writing when there's still time. And so that is what we do in the embassy. We complement what our diaspora people are doing. Cherisi said, and I think also Penny said the same thing, that you are not very sure whether I was going to come. I am this person who says, I am here because of you. And because of you, I will dedicate my time to ensure that I do what is supposed to be done if I can get the time. Because anyway, I am Kenyan, and Kenya is my business. That is my work. So let us go hand in hand. I will expect your support. Feel free. I maintain an open door policy. I listen. If there is any issue that you want us to improve, and I've heard you. One of the challenges that we have is when people call the embassy, sometimes it's telephone calls is a challenge. Those are issues that are being addressed. And we have a good team in DC to ensure that they listen to you. On the issue of consular services, you are still on the line. You're still on the line. I had planned before that maybe I would have come together with the consular team. But unfortunately, some of my teams were on leave, and I don't believe in doing half-baked. I said, let them go on leave. We will bring the whole team. You know, they have to come with the whole gear. So we'll plan and ensure that Atlanta and Georgia generally is covered.
Balozi, can we get a tentative timing? We have 400 to 500 people on the line.
Okay, I will be able to, actually by next week we will be giving out a timetable for the entire America.
Thank you.
For the whole year.
Thank you.
What I don't want to tell you now is which month is for Atlanta.
Thank you.
But I'll give you. He's got his answer. So generally, I don't want to go beyond that because I saw that, and I didn't know that nurses can dance. My first experience with a nurse when I was small was when she gave me an injection and I didn't like her. Because every time you see her, you just see a long needle. But today I've seen the human side of the nurses. Thank you very much. And if there is anything else that we are able to do, let's continue talking. I'm still here. And welcome to DC. If there are any issues, karibuni DC. Nampokea salamu kutoka watu wangu wote kutoka DC. Mnapokea? So mpaka hapo, I don't think I want to add more than that. I want to say thank you very much. We will continue engaging even as we proceed in the evening. Asanteni sana na Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki.
Go ahead.